So this is HEX staking part 4. So yesterday we talked about how a 10-year stake in Kyle's simulation resulted in 80x over 10 years. I broke that down into what the APR of that would be yearly, and that is a 44% APR if calculated, if compounded daily, which I believe HEX does. I hope somebody will I hope somebody will double check me on that, but I believe that HEX compounds interest daily. So 80x is 44% compounded daily over 10 years, which is not an outlandish interest rate considering right now the average interest rate is 15%. 44% is really not, it's not highly extravagant, and it's good to kind of have a sanity check on stuff like that. You know, if you did some math and came out with a figure that said that such and such was receiving, 30,000% interest per day, that you run a sanity check on that, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But 44%, that's not outlandish. So I could agree that the simulation had merit to it, just because that number is not wildly out of the ordinary. So I was thinking about something this morning. So this information about shares and staking, it's really powerful information. I have probably, through making these videos, influenced at least one person in the world into creating either a 10-year or a 15-year stake. Now, in doing so, I have, assuming that I have a 10-year or a 15-year stake, I have given myself competition. I have given myself competition in the later years such that other people will be negatively impacting my return. Now that's not smart. Why would I do that? Why would I want other people to negatively impact my stake? That doesn't sound very good. That doesn't sound like in the interest of me making a higher income. It doesn't make any more sense. In fact, just looking at it from that myopic perspective, it makes the most sense that you would want to disseminate information showing that long stakes are bad. If I wanted to maximize my long-term profits, it would make more sense for me to make videos telling everyone that long-term stakes are bad and that you should only do 6-day stakes and compound all your interest manually. Well, it actually is in my best interest for people to stake longer. Yes, it will cut into my long-term profit. The total number of shares will be higher than it would otherwise be had other people not put in 10-year stakes. My piece of the pie would be larger if other people wouldn't put in so many long-term stakes. But there's a very, very, very big upside. And that is, I'm also reducing, if people take my advice, I'm also reducing sell pressure into the market. Because those people with those long stakes can't sell. You're reducing sell pressure and assuming that demand remains in existence, assuming there is some type of demand that will cause the price to go up. So yes, you might take a hit from competition in the long term because other people will be taking part and receiving some of the interest that you would have otherwise gotten. Yes, that's true, but you're also helping to ensure that less people will be dumping on the market. And when less people dump on the market, that causes the price to go up in the presence of stable demand. Price going up in the presence of stable demand will probably beget more demand, because when people see the price of something going up, they want more of it. something that's very important to understand is all financial assets require some type of demand to maintain a floor price. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's um, gold, silver, Bitcoin. Bitcoin requires some floor demand or some form of demand to maintain a price floor. Everything has to have demand or the price goes to zero. If something does not have demand, the price goes to zero. This is true of all financial assets that have ever existed.